Hi, I'm Rose McDonough and I'm a retired family and consumer science teacher. And today I'm going to do one part of a two-part of making pasta. It's getting winter. I like to do this more frequently for myself. I am a Goodwill shopper. Perhaps I shouldn't tell everybody that, but I love to peruse Goodwill. You never know what kind of deals you're going to find. So a couple years ago I found this for $14. Do you know how much these retail at, fresh and new, out of the box, sent to you by Amazon? Yeah, a whole lot more than $14. And I thought I was the cat's meow because I was able to find this, and I love to be able to make pasta. I've made it with my nieces before, made it with kids that I babysit. We enjoy making pasta. It's fun because I make it in the food processor, which is what I'll show you in a second. But then I was in Ohio a few months ago. Of course, I was looking at another Goodwill. Not one, but two pasta makers, and those were only $12. This one has the attachments to make ravioli. So this is now Brooks, and this is mine. Mine's more expensive. Mine has less attachment, but that's okay. We still only got these for, $14 to $12. All right, so making pasta. You're thinking, this is stupid. Never gonna make pasta. It's too much work. Oh, I used to show in my class a video of an old grandmother, and she would have her flour, and she had a well, and she would crack her eggs into it, and she would make a slurry, which is what it's called when you're taking your eggs and bringing your flour into it, and all the loving work that she did. Yeah, that's how I made my kids do it too. But that's not how I do it, because I have this handy dandy food processor. Yay, hooray! So into this food processor, I have already put 2.5 cups of flour. Not Doppio double O flour, which is really the one you should use for pasta. I don't have that. I have all-purpose flour. So that's what I put in there, and I put in 1/2 teaspoon of salt. No, I didn't use sea salt. I just used the regular iodized, whatever it's called, salt. Plain salt. That's what I did. Why? Because that's what's probably in your house. And now I'm going to, I'll be quiet. Uh-oh, must not have this locked in. So I've got my 2.5 cups of flour and my salt, and I'm just going to do something called a pulsing. All I did that for is I wanted to disperse the salt all the way through. All right, so the next is a little bit of a thing here we're doing. Brooke and I have been reading, and I've always taught that a large egg is 1/4 cup, but we read that it's not. We read that it's 3.5 tablespoons, which is, 1/2 tablespoon short of 1/4 cup. So I'm gonna go ahead and just measure it and see if a large egg is in fact 1/4 cup, because there's times when liquid matters. Oh my gosh, it's not. Wait. Let me just check here, because the yolk's sitting up here. I gotta check this out. Really? Oh my goodness. It is just a little bit short. Okay, all you Riverside and Potter County students that I taught, I am so sorry that I misinformed you. I had no idea. It is so close that I'm not really gonna worry about it one way or another. Anyway, my recipe calls for 3 of these. So that's one. And I'm just going to do them in here. I also read somebody else said not to crack them on a side, because if you crack them on the side, then the egg shell can go in, and then you have to fish it out. Jeez Louise, it's not that hard to fish it out. You just use the rest of your shell and put it in. Let me just rinse my fingers off here real quick. I didn't worry about breaking the yolks on there. We'll put that in. And I have ready to go some olive oil that I'm going to add into it. I'm going to do about 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I also have this cup that you're probably thinking, well, why would you have a cup sitting there? Well, I have that cup sitting there because it has ice water in it. Not because this job is so hard that I might need to drink it. But what if, because my eggs were a little bit smaller, what if I actually do need a little bit of water? You should always use ice water when you're working with pasta. All right, so put that aside, put this aside. Are you ready? Such hard work. I don't know if anybody else is going to be able to do this at home. Just mixing it up a little. Wow. This is so much harder. It's not coming together. Guess what it needs? Yeah, a little bit of that ice water. Isn't that amazing? Could be 4 tablespoons, maybe 2 tablespoons. I'm not sure. But this way you see how things go, that you may need a little bit more. Now remember, I just found out I'm missing that half of a tablespoon from those eggs that I wasn't aware of. Extra large eggs, by the way, are supposed to be just fine. That was 3. I could possibly add up to 3 more, or this might be enough. We'll see. And it's almost together, and that's it. Now I'm looking at it and I can feel that it's just a little bit dry, so I am going to add that 1/4 of a tablespoon. I'm trying not to get ice cubes in there, my goodness, and this will just pull it the rest of the way together. Okay, ready? And there we go. If I had less flour, it would have actually come together a little bit faster. This might be a touch too wet because of that last tablespoon. Oh, that was some work getting that out. I'm going to use my pad here that I have, and I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of flour on it. And when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit, because unfortunately I got to go get another bag of flour, but that's okay. I'm going to put this on here. Let me go through the directions really quick for you. Put the dough here. Once I put the dough on here, I'm going to knead it for a few minutes. There's a little bit of flour that was left there that didn't come together. I'm going to knead it for just a few minutes. I don't know, 4 minutes, 6 minutes, I don't know. Just until it feels like it's come together and it's a good feeling dough. And then after that, you have to let it rest, because the gluten strands need to be softened up and they need to work through. And so I'm going to let it rest, and I'm going to wrap it in plastic wrap. From there, I'm going to let it sit for about 30 minutes. Some people say let it sit for an hour. It doesn't matter. You could do an hour. We've done it before. We did it overnight. So we just wrapped it overnight. And then after that, you are going to cut it, and we're going to cut this big disc. I'm actually going to do it into 6 pieces, not 4 pieces, just because, again, I have 2½ cups of flour. And then we're going to use the machine, and that will be part 2. But again, I need to just knead this just a little bit. I might have added a little bit too much flour now. It's really work, and it is work, and it's work when I'm working on this counter because it's too high for me. You should always work on a counter that's more comfortable for you. Oh, there we go. And that's kind of what you want it to start looking like. It's a little bit sticky, but as I work with it, it should take away that stickiness. All right, I'm going to do this for 3 minutes, so you're not going to want to watch me do it for 3 minutes. That's ridiculous. So after I do this for 3 minutes, just show you a picture of it all wrapped up, put it in the refrigerator, and then we'll come back for another video showing it, because I don't want to waste too much of your time. You might already have a machine and know how to do it and just want a different recipe. So let me pull out some names here. I know I've got them over here because this is a 2-parter. I told Brooke I'm only pulling out 1 name today. Oh my goodness. M.K. Colvin, C-O-L-V-I-N. Thank you for either commenting or watching or something. Obviously, we got your name somewhere. I appreciate it. And for the rest of you, tell a friend, leave a comment, because I don't know if you like what you're seeing unless I see comments. Thanks so much, and have a good day.